Good morning. Today I'm going to talk to you about something that's been the bane of my existence. There's no other way to describe it. It's a problem I've suffered with all my life. And the result of this problem is fluctuating weight. So this is a video about eating and about food. And my desire is to share with you my story about food so that you can perhaps find something in it that helps you see your relationship with food more clearly. Perhaps it helps you realize you don't have an issue with food. Or perhaps it helps you realize that actually you do the exact same thing, but you do it with alcohol. Or perhaps you do the exact same thing, but you do it with weed. Or you do it with running, or you do it with whatever. And actually, I'm going to start this video off by saying what my thesis is. I don't have a problem with food at all. No problem with food. I have a problem with love. So this morning as I sat down to eat my breakfast, I had two breakfasts as I do every single morning. Now when I was running, 40 miles a week, I could have two breakfasts and two lunches. I needed that. The body needed it. I didn't need it, but the body needed it to do what I was doing. But now I don't need two breakfasts. My body does not need two breakfasts. So when I was a kid, I was sitting here this morning, I'm like, okay, I'm going to eat this last breakfast, my second breakfast, and I'm going to at least know why I'm eating it, and I'm going to not lie to myself and say I'm eating it because I'm hungry, or I'm eating it because it tastes good and I want to satisfy the taste, because honestly, after my first breakfast, which was perfect and sufficient, the second breakfast didn't even taste good. But what it did do was give my ego something to do. So I was sitting down eating my second breakfast, and I was taken immediately to an image of myself when I was in the fourth grade. So I think, I'm maybe 9 or 10 years old at that time. And I am going to the freezer. We were living in Inglewood, my mom and I. And I'd come home from school, and I was a latchkey kid, so I had to come home and stay in the house. I couldn't have people inside the house with me. That was one of my mom's rules. She wanted to make sure that I was safe. So I couldn't have people inside the house with me, and I could not go outside to play. Because something could happen, I could be misled. We know this stuff, right? It makes sense. If I were a single mother, I'd be like, you stay inside. Especially living in the neighborhood where I was living, where there were gunshots every night, and thieving and robbing and, just all sorts of crazy shit happening, man. So yeah, mom was like, you stay in and nobody comes in with you. So I stayed inside, and I got the image of going to the freezer, and there was a box of Farmer John wieners. There were pounds of wieners because there had been an office party picnic for her office, maybe the weekend before that, or maybe even the prior weekend. But either way, we had a refrigerator with pounds of wieners. And I went into the freezer, and I took out 4 wieners, and I made 4 hot dogs. And then I sat down there in front of the television and I ate them. Then I got back up and I went to the refrigerator or to the freezer and I took out 4 more wieners and then I boiled them and I got the hot dog buns and then I ate them because we also had a lot of hot dog buns and a lot of mustard. Then I went back to the refrigerator and I got 4 more hot dogs and I boiled them up and then I ate them. And then I went back and I got 2 because something said, okay, this is probably a little bit too much. And I just made 2 and then I ate them. And I sat there with my tummy sticking out, totally distended. And I breathed and I watched TV and I felt something that might have resembled satisfaction. I was young then, so I didn't feel a lot of guilt about eating. I didn't feel like I was ashamed of my weight. I didn't have that issue at that time. I just ate, and felt the feeling of being full. And that was what I had come to know all of my life. So I, throughout all my years, and even to this day, eat until my belly is distended. And as I've actually gotten older and more stressed out, I eat until, excuse me, I eat until my belly is painfully distended. It hurts now. It hurts like I've hurt myself. It's become self-mutilation. Eating has become self-mutilation. So I know that I've gained weight, 15 pounds in a couple of months, or since, since December, since it's been like 4 months. I've gained 8 inches on my waist. And I'm just basically wearing the excess love that I desire, that I feel that I'm lacking on my body. So going back to the childhood, what was happening when I was coming home at the age of 9 or 10, coming home to an empty apartment and not really knowing what to do with myself. I'd do my homework. That would take me all of, an hour, but I'd still have 8 hours on my own. So I wanted love. Honestly, did I want food? No, because if I had friends and maybe a brother or a sister or someone to talk to me, a parent, I could have had, some guidance and some nurturing and some conversation and some hugs and some kisses, like I could have had some love. I could have had somebody who talked to me, told me stories, helped me with my homework, anything like that. So the easiest thing that gave the most sensual pleasure was food and sex. I started masturbating at a really early age, like masturbating. Food and masturbation. Won't be talking about masturbation in this video. Save that for another one because I got some sexual issues to share. Hey, get off of there. So the thing that I'm realizing is that my desire to eat is not about my desire to fill even an empty physical feeling. That's the whole point. My desire to eat is about filling up a vacuum of love. All right, that's it. That's all I have to say for right now. That's it for now. Okay, thanks for listening. Namaste, my friends. Wishing you a really blessed day. I'm feeling blessed. I'm realizing all sorts of stuff. It's been a really intense 3 months. 5 months. It's not 3 months anymore, it's 5 months. Thank you. Bye, friends.